Welcome back to the Jason Reuter Coach Show here on BCHS.TV. I'm your host, Coach Ownbey. Our show is available to you through YouTube. Just look at BCHS.TV. They're free to use later. Coach, it's been a while since we talked. You guys have had a lot of games on your belt. Bears right now still unbeaten, 18-0, ranked second in the AP Writers Poll, ranked number 1 by Max Preps in the state of Tennessee. Playing quite well, and you've had a lot of fun since we talked last. Let's start first. Talk about your holiday trip over to Charleston, how that went. I know you won all 3 games. Is that a tournament you'd like to go back to in the future, you think?
I wouldn't rule anything out. We had a good experience over there. Obviously, when you win, it makes things funner, but you got to realize why you're going. It's to have a little bonding time, a little culture, and see someplace. Most of our kids have not been to Charleston. You don't get to do much sightseeing while you're playing, but it was a good tournament. I will say this: we played one really good team in the semifinals. I think they're ranked in top 15 in North Carolina in the largest class. Cardinal Gibson, and then we played a pretty good team in the finals at Ohio Centerville. Yeah. And the first game we played with Holly Springs was just a little bit down. So I would consider going back there. Obviously, we like to go different places, but Greenville's already hit me up. You wouldn't. It started early. It's getting early every year. Greenville hit me up the day their tournament was over and wanting us to come back there. So I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that right now, and I got bigger things on my agenda right now. So we're going to just concentrate on a nice game, and but had a good experience and neat place. There's a lot of history in Charleston. A lot of history there. So we played the championship very oddly at 11 a.m. on the last day, and a few of my kids stayed. At that point, I released them to their parents, and me and my wife stayed, and Coach Freeman and his wife stayed. So I got to go downtown and see some of the old history, and very unique place. I don't know that I've been any place quite like Charleston. I know you've been. Yeah. Several times. Yeah. You going back? Hopefully.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Savannah, Charleston area there is very historic, and a lot of important things happened or got started there. And,
like the Civil War and so forth at Fort Sumter there. Let's talk about some more basketball here. One of the games we had during the break, or
coming back after the break, was the first game against Knox Catholic.
Very special thing happened to several players that day. You had 3 girls sign college scholarships at Johnson University. Sloan, Hannah, and Shemai, all 3 signed together that day to go and play their college ball. They're all seniors next year at Johnson University there in Knoxville. We've never had 3 sign to the same school on the same day. That was very, very unusual, but they're getting
3 really good, high-quality people.
Players and so forth, and I think they'll be very successful there.
Well, I mean, you could just hope for the best. I mean, I know what type of girls I'm coaching there. I know what they're quality individuals, and they're good basketball players, and obviously Hannah and Sloan are starting for us, and Shemaiah's coming off the bench in a role that we much need, and Johnson is not, I think part of it was for Sloan signed there first, or committed there first, I should say. There's no signing until the other day, but then Hannah followed suit. I think there's something about them going together. They've been playing together for quite a long time. I know middle school and high school, and I can't speak for the history of the entire program, but I've never had 3 girls sign with the same school in the same year.
I'm almost positive that's never happened.
Maybe it never happened, even in Jim Smitty's days. I don't
think so.
But I think I've not been on the campus, but I think they're trying to. They put a lot of money into the facilities, what I understand, and I look forward to going. I will be there. And, big day. 3 girls in 1 lick, and we got some younger kids that will be doing the same in the future, but not quite yet.
Hey, let's talk about something else happened that day.
Particularly that night at the game, Hannah Jones was presented a ball because she had eclipsed
1,000-point career mark for her in her 4 years here at Bradley Central.
And joins the crowd. Your daughter's one of them. Your daughter got 1,000 points there, and I believe Hannah just
jumped
Rebecca
last game or so. Anyway,
probably.
And you said something on the air, though. You said nowadays it's hard to accumulate a lot of points because in your program, you've got more of a team play where different players, it could be one girl one night, one girl the next night steps up, so you're not necessarily, you got one girl that's going to score 25 or 30 points every game like we've had sometimes in the past. It's more spread out, so it's hard to achieve that level. We've got a girl, Data Caldwell, scored over 3,000 points, which is unbelievable. They're playing 6-on-6 in those days, so that's a huge different type of format there. But it's a great go for Hannah, and that just sort of helps carry her into the college ranks there with 1,000 points and a great person and great teammate there. And it seems like the girls are playing good together. I mean, you're still unbeaten. Like we said, you're ranked #1 by Rivals.com in state. You're ranked, I think, second by the AP Writers. Max Preps, I hadn't even looked to see what he's got ranked. I think he has #1 too. But getting a lot of respect because of the way we're playing and all that. But tonight's game with Cleveland High School, they're 5-1 in the district, or 6-1 actually in the district. I believe they are because they've already played Howard twice. And their only loss is to us. So they're looking at Bradley as hey, we could tie them for the district lead with a win, but it's at our place at Bradley here. Big game for both teams tonight, and it's going to be a huge crowd. It'll be full to the brim tonight.
I'm anticipating a big crowd, always has been, so it'd be very unusual it's not. We're sitting in the driver's seat, but we have a lot of respect for Cleveland, and we know they're dangerous, and if we don't play well, and they do, they're going to beat us. But if we play well and they play well, I think we've got the advantage. We're at home. You should play better. I tell our kids, just being in your own locker room, your own gym, your own backboards, your own basketballs, that's worth something. And then some nights, the basket feels like it's this big around, and then some nights it feels like it's this big around. So I think that the key tonight is staying out of foul trouble and obviously executing our game plan, and they're going to have a plan too. So it's going to be two pretty successful this year 4A teams playing, and I'm not putting any cart in front of the horse. We got several district games to play, but we know what the ramifications is. We know if we win this game, we've got a 2-league game on them. We know that the odds of them catching us would be pretty slim. Yeah. So it's a big game, but I don't want to put any more pressure on these kids. You got to be careful. No one, I've heard Dick Vitale and those people, Jay Billis on TV, you got to rise to the occasion. I've never done that. I don't think people perform better under pressure. Do you? Do you think you're shooting a rifle or shooting a basketball, whatever, pressure? No. I don't think there's any reason to put any more pressure.
No, I agree with you.
So what I just want them to do is just keep playing excellent basketball. You don't have to rise to anything. Just keep giving me all you got, and keep hustling and staying hungry and be humble. And we obviously got to execute our game plan. That doesn't mean big-time players don't step up in big-time situations, but we don't need any more pressure on our girls than they put on themselves. Right. So that's the message tonight, and that'll kind of be my pregame speech if anybody was wondering what I'd talk about. So,
well, one of the things I always like to look at the stats, and our great statistician Adam Belford provides us. And one thing that really jumped off the charts at me: 25 assists on 29 made baskets. That's an incredibly high percentage, which shows you, boy, we're finding the open man, and we're making things happen, and we're sharing the ball. We're doing it. You had 3 girls with more than 20 points. I couldn't recall. I was trying to figure out when's the last time we had anybody score more than 3 girls score more than 20. We've had 5 starters in double figures, but it's hard to score 20 points with 3 players. But unless you go back to the 6-on-6 days when you had 3 shooters that could score a lot of points.
Actually, you call it 6-on-6, but you're really playing 3-on-3.
Yeah.
And then you usually have your marquee. Like, I didn't witness it, but I've seen some old films, like Data Caldwell. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she was going to shoot 85% of the time, probably 75. And that's just the way the game was played. Is you play by the rule books, and now the rule, someday we'll see a shot clock, and the rule books will change again. And but anyhow, that could be a first. We're talking about 3 girls signing with one school. I don't know. I can't recall that I've ever had a game where I've had 3 girls score 20 or more in the same game. Now, you look at a couple seniors there where, Hannah Jones had 2 and Sloan Carpenter had 0, but you also see where Sloan had 6 steals. Mm-hmm. She had 6 assists. Hannah didn't have a bad game. The problem would lie if those 3 weren't shooting so well, Kamora, Harmony, and, Avery, if they weren't scoring, and then those other 2 give you those numbers, now we got a problem. Mm-hmm. But there is no problem. The problem would have been if we were desperate for points, and I get 0 from Sloan and 2 from Hannah. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
We won by 38. Just imagine if I got 10 and 12 out of them, or 6 or 8.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been more, but it wasn't needed. And every game's different. I'm sure you'll look at that stat line tonight after the game, and you'll see a different combination.
Yep. Well, we got Cleveland tonight. We have Howard on the road Friday. We've got LFO coming in here Saturday. Understand the LFO girls are unbeaten coming in to play us unless they lose this week. I'm sure they probably got a game tonight. They were unbeaten last year when we went down to their place, and we handed them their only loss the entire regular season till they got to state tournament. I think they lost that in the state championship finals, if I remember right, or in the semis. They were deep into the Georgia State playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think they got to the finals, Gary, but you're right. We won regular season loss and then won in the tournament to whoever it was in whatever round. Georgia, they call the state tournament much earlier than we do.
Yeah.
It's final 32.
Yeah.
Ours is final 8, and they got 7 classes. We got 4. So, yeah, I've not even looked at LFO. I've glanced at the paper a few times, and I understand that they're having a great year, and we'll just take them one at a time. I've not looked at any film, so all my focus has been on Cleveland since Walker Valley game, which it should be, and that's a lot of basketball left to be played. A lot of basketball.
Another stat I like, free throw shooting. We were 6 of 7.
Yeah.
We have not been shooting that well in previous games. So.
No, and that'll be a big thing tonight. Who had the team that gets to the line the most and makes their free throws? You're not going to make them all. Our goal is 70%, and we're a little bit under that on the year, but that's a promising figure there.
Well, we hadn't even mentioned this yet, but Avery Brewer, a young sophomore, 29 points. That's a career high for her. 7 of 11 three-pointers. Boy, she started out hot, and she stayed hot, played extremely well. Matter of fact, 12 of 27 three-pointers plus, 44.4%.
I'll take it.
Yeah, anything over 33% is a plus for you.
I'll take it, yeah. Yeah, Avery had, and she'd been in a slump. I don't care to say that here on the air. She kind of, and I know my team. I've told Avery, look, you got the range, and you're in the right range. You got the rhythm, and you got the room. Then you better shoot it. Unless we're trying to hold the ball at the end of the game. But even through, she's been in a little bit of a slump, and I've had this happen to me. I forgot what it's like to be a player, and I've had it happen to other players. If you can't shoot very well, you can't shoot very well. If you can, you can. Now, you may have bad days, but my message to her is just don't take a bad shot. Just take open shots with room and rhythm, and that's what she did. And she's our best three-point shooter, and everybody on our team knows that. This is not a competition about who can get Coach Reuter to say that. If everybody knows if we were having a three-point contest, Avery Brewer would be the first pick. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure our opponents know that too. So we'll see what happens tonight, who they're going to leave open.
Well, it's going to be a fun game tonight, fun atmosphere. We got 4 games on tap, a girls JV at 3:30, the boys JV, the girls varsity is 6, and the boys game to follow that. So should be a great atmosphere, intense, emotional, all the things that you want to see and will see in the Cleveland game. We'll have it for you on Mix Radio 104.1. We'll also be on
Mix TV tonight, and as well as the Bear Network, BCHS.TV. So
lots of ways to watch it and listen to it. So come on out. We need you here in the gym, though, to support the team tonight. It should be.
Yeah, I'd like to see you here.
It's just different here.
It's different. You can't get the same atmosphere at home. And I know some people are maybe not able to make it, but if you can, I'd like for you please come out and support us. We're also retiring a pretty big deal. Retiring a girl that played for me, Brooke Copeland, who was 2-time All-State, district MVP. Forgive me, at least her junior and senior year. We won 4 districts, 4 regions. We played in 2 state tournaments. We won numerous Christmas, Thanksgiving tournaments. She went on to play for the University of Florida. She left here as one of the all-time greats, and we're going to do this during the COVID year. I know you know this, but the people out there don't know this. We were going to retire Brooks' number during the COVID year, and COVID hit, and we played in front of empty gyms half the time. And,
sure did. And
then she got pregnant, and then here comes Ryan Howard, and Kentucky released her to us on a certain. They give us a date she could come, and so that we got them a little bit out of order, but the final results are the same. They both wore 23. Is why this is a big deal.
Yeah.
So Brooke played here before Ryan, and would have been retired if it wasn't for COVID, and so She's very deserving, and I'm expecting I hope we have a lot of people that remember those days. You know, she played alongside my daughter, and they were kind of nicknamed the Twin Towers. And
Yep.
a lot of good memories there, and I'm hoping that people will come out and show the respect.
Oh, I think we'll have a lot of those there, and I'm sure she'll have her whole family and brothers and everybody, and her mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and everybody with her there tonight.
I hope so. I think so. I think you're right. She flew in from Dallas, and I understand her husband's going to be there too. You know, plays for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Justin Jackson. She's Brooke Jackson now, so it's hard for me to say Brooke Jackson.
Brooke Copeland, yeah, Brooke Copeland, that's always will be. One of our greats here at Bradley Center, we've had a lot of those. Folks, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for being here today. We'll do this again next week. Until next time, we'll say God bless for now, and go Bears!